Hello, it's Stowa here and welcome to my channel if you're new, and if you're returning, thank you so much for stopping back by. As you have seen by the title of this video, I'm going to be doing a coming out story time, and I'm going to be doing that while I am getting ready. So if you like this video, obviously give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, do best and subscribe for more content, obviously. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so my eyebrows are done. I decided to do them off camera because I don't want this video to be longer than it should be, and I already primed my face using this primer, and then I went with this one. I recently got this one, so I don't know how it works. We'll see. This is my first time using it, but anyway, let's get into the video. Before we start this video, I want to do a disclaimer. This is not a makeup tutorial. I'm not a makeup person. I'm just, finessing my face just how I know my face needs to be finished. So makeup artists, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry because I'm gonna be breaking all the rules. I'm working with what I got, okay? And second disclaimer is that my stuff, my brushes and stuff like that are dirty. I know, let's not talk about it, mind your business. And thirdly, what's my third disclaimer? Okay, the next one is not a disclaimer, it's a trigger warning. I don't know what triggers you're gonna find in this video, but I know the internet is very sensitive, so watch at your own risk, okay? So yeah, let's get into the video. So I'm gonna keep looking at my mirror, so I'm so sorry I won't be paying attention as much, but I'll try to keep like eye contact because I can't multi-function. It's not my thing, but I'm gonna try. So let's start with backstory ne? Just a backstory, because a good story always has a backstory, character builder, you understand? So let me talk about my earliest memory of me being attracted to a girl. So I was very, very young. I was in grade 3 as far as I can remember, and obviously at that time I didn't know it was a crush. I didn't know what it was. I was young and innocent, okay? I was young and innocent, but like now looking back, when I think about it, I'm like, girl, you were a certified simp even before Drake was a thing, girl. I was in grade 3 and I remember her name. Should I say it? Anyway, I don't know where she is, but her name was Tebogo. Oh my gosh. I remember, like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I do remember how she made me feel. Like, she was so... Also, if it's not my skin tone, mind your business, okay? Me, I'm finessing. So she was so pretty, man. I remember how, like, I would always look at her and I'd always like want to be in her space. She was so clean and so poised and so well spoken, and she smelled so nice. Like, you see Veselina Ilea, what do you call this, baby skin? She smelled like that, and she was so neat and tidy. And she was also so smart, and I was so drawn to her. But like I said, at the time I didn't know what it was. For me, she was just a friend, but like now looking back at it, girl, I was in too deep. So yeah, so that is my earliest memory of me being attracted to a girl, and obviously like many moments after that, but we're not gonna dwell into that right now. So fast forward to me coming out. This is so funny because the first person I came out to was my friend in high school, and she doesn't know that she's the first person I came out to, and I didn't even know that it was called coming out because I didn't know what it was. I was so naive, guys. I was such a late bloomer. I was so oblivious to a lot of things, but like now when I look back at it, I'm like, Tebogo, you were so dumb. But yeah, so I think I was in grade 11 at the time, and we were writing our exams. So you know, when you write exams, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was our final exams, because it can't be June. June was cold and I remember it was hot. So it was either like our final exams in grade 10 going to grade 11. And like, you know, usually when you write your exams, you write your session and then you go home. So this day, I think, I don't remember what we were writing, but I think we were writing a common paper. And the reason I remember that is because, you know, when you don't, like, my friends and I didn't do the same subjects in high school. So we knew that some days some of us would come to write, but some of us wouldn't. Like, the ones who took business would come, us who took science would come. Like, we wouldn't come in the same dates. But when we wrote like common paper, like language and stuff, we would all come, right? So yeah, because I remember it was like a bunch of us that day. So I'm thinking we were writing a common paper. I think it was either English or Afrikaans. So we had our session. Ooh, this foundation is really good, actually. This is my first time using the Maybelline Fit Me. I don't know why I haven't tried it before, but anyway, it's so cute. So yeah, we wrote our first session, and first session they felt like around 11. So we would write, and then sometimes we'd wait for the bus, but the bus came at 2 o'clock. So that day we decided, okay, we're gonna go through town, then catch a taxi to home. So we did that. But when we got to town, we decided that we're gonna go to lunch. So we went to lunch. I remember we went to fish and chips. It was just like a group of us, like, you know, social crew, the social crew, like once we took a taxi, like we would fill in a whole taxi. I went to VTH for Trager. So we would fill in a taxi there for Trager. The whole taxi would be full of us social kids. So we'd go with a taxi and then go to town. So when we got to town, we decided to have lunch at Fish and Chips. So we all went there as a group. I think it was like probably like 10 or even more of us. We went there. So, you know, as you are chilling and waiting for your food, and it's a lot of you guys, and there's like a lot of conversations happening, and there's, you know, but I remember that day, like my friend and I were just having our own little conversation in the midst of that whole group conversation. And as we were chopping it up and we were eating, we were talking, I don't remember what we were talking about, but I don't know what came into my mind, this big forehead head of mine. But as we were talking, I just blurted out and I was like, you know, that's a girl, she's so cute and I like her. And immediately when I said that, my mind went spiraling, because I was like, what did you just say? What did you just, what did you just say? And like, as I'm like thinking that, like I'm regretting it in my mind, just everything is happening in slow motion. I'm looking around hoping that nobody besides her heard me say that. And like, I'm looking like to the left and to the right, and I see everyone else is talking. They're not even minding our business. And I'm looking at her, and like, she doesn't have a facial expression to her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my friend if she finds out that I'm into girls. Oh my gosh. And I was just losing it. And one thing about me, I'm an overthinker. So yeah, so I told her, and like, it felt like a million. And she was like, because she was halfway into eating her chips, so she like stopped, and like, I looked at her, I was like, oh my gosh. And she's like, is it that one? And like, she just described the girl, and I was like, yeah. She's like, she's cute. And my mind was just like, but at the same time I was just like, what just happened? This is not reaction. This is not the reaction that I expected. Like, you know, in your mind when you build it up, that if people find out something about you, like, you instantly like imagine a negative reaction, and like, you low-key mentally prepared for it, even though like you're hoping for the best. So like, in my mind I was like, oh my gosh, I can't reverse what I just said, and this girl heard me and she didn't make it a big deal. But at the same time, why isn't it a big deal? Like, why? So yeah, after that, oh my gosh, this foundation is so good. Can you see my face? Sure. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just like, this girl, what is happening? Like, whoa, reverse. What's happening? But at the same time, I have to keep a conversation with her going. Like, I didn't want to be awkward about it. Like, I didn't want to make a fuss about it. But at the same time, I'm just like, it's a big deal what I just said to you. Why aren't you reacting in any way? And like, we just continued. And the whole time, like, mind you, I'm panicking in my head. But like, we have a whole other conversation. Even like we moved on from that, and she was like, there was a point she was like, oh, she's cute, you know, and she was like, you must go for it and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this girl. But at the same time, I'm panicking. And like, I went home and I went straight into my room, and I was just like replaying the whole thing over and over and over again. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope tomorrow when we see each other it's not awkward or anything. No, it was never awkward, you know. Instead, every time we saw this person, she was like, there she is. And like, I was just like, oh my gosh, I am so blessed that the first person I told had such a positive reaction, because in my mind I had made it up to be this whole big thing, you know, growing up in a very religious Christian household. You know, I just like, at the time also I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I liked this person, and you know, I hadn't figured it out in my head at the time. It was something that I've only said it out loud once, and it was to her. Like, most of the time it was just like something that I would think about, you know, things that I would imagine, but like, it was never something that I said it out loud to someone. So she was the first person. So even me saying it to her felt so real. Like, it sunk in that, dude, you put this out into the universe and now you can't take it back. Like, this is it. So yeah, she was the first person. So bitch, if you ever see this, I love you. So yeah, so fast forward to when I was in, I think, you know what, let me finish blending and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. So fast forward to second year. The second person I came out to was my sister. Okay, I'm not fetching that. Whew. I was in second year and I was in Johannesburg, living alone in a new city. In a, you know, everything was just, okay, it wasn't new because it was second year, so, but like, do you understand like the transition? And my time there, my first year, I remember it was so hard because new city, meeting new people. I felt like, as much as in high school I was semi out to my friends, obviously my family didn't know at the time, but like, after telling my friend, I would openly like mess around with like girls at school and stuff like and stuff like that. But I wasn't really like out. Even my friends who knew, they knew to keep it in the low because I wasn't really out. But like, when I was around them, I was comfortable enough to talk about like the people I like or who I'm talking to and this and this. So now moving to a new city and, you know, meeting new people, it felt like I was one step out of the closet, but now it felt like I needed to, you know, pull it back into the closet again, because I didn't know a lot of people going to Joburg. I was like, I didn't have friends, I didn't know anybody. So literally the life I made was from scratch. So the people I met, you know, it wasn't easy for me to just be open and talk about it because I didn't know how they would react. So yeah, that was my life. But like, I feel like at the same time I was able to just create the new me because nobody knew me. But like, that took me a lot of time. But like, first half of first year was tough. So yeah, so I was going through the most. One thing about me, I am a stubborn Pisces with mental health issues. So the only time I will fully open up to someone is if I'm having a mental breakdown, and that's not a good thing. And I feel like my coming out has always been like that, like just me blabbering things out because I'm just having a mental breakdown or I'm just going through something, and like that's the only time that I feel like not comfortable, but things just come out because they just bubbling out. I've been like keeping everything inside. So I remember I was going through a very rough patch at the time. Why am I using this? Okay, but it's fine. I was going through a rough time, like literally I was not okay mentally, and like at the time I didn't know I had mental health issues. So you know, people would just think Tebogo was like this, you know, she's on, she's off, but I was just going through something and I didn't know what it was. But like school was hard, having to live alone hard, new city hard, you know, and I was just like in the pits. So one day I remember I went to my, oops, what did I just do? But anyway, so I remember I had 2 lectures that day. I had one at 9 and I had one at like 3. So I went to my first one, but I was not okay. Like I was just zoned out. I felt like I was floating throughout the day. And when I came back, like I lived close to my campus, so I could walk. So I went to my first class, and then I woke up in the morning and I went to gym, and then I came back. I went to class. After class, I went back to gym again because I was just like, I'm not going to class. I'm not okay. And then after gym, as I was working out, the whole drama. So I was just working out as I'm lifting. Mind you, I'm with like people I don't know at gym. And you know, like as a girl, when you work out and you're lifting weights, like a lot of guys would come to you and just, oh, let me assist you. Let me show you how to do blah, 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 you know. So like I'm lifting and this guy is helping me and I'm busy doing squats. And I just bawl my eyes and I cry. Yo, drumming gaga. So I just cried, guys, like in the middle of gym, and that guy was like so sweet about it. He was like, are you okay, what's wrong? I saw, because this guy, like I usually like worked out, like he came to me once and we started gelling. So like every time that we would come at the same time at gym, somebody would like lift together. So he was like, what's wrong, are you okay, and this and this and this. And I was like, you know what? I think I need to go because I'm not okay. I'll see you maybe tomorrow. And then I left. I got to my flat. I locked my door. I closed my windows. Yo, they were whole dramatic language. And then I, you know, spark up a spliff. And then I remember I was listening to music and just jamming. The whole time I'm just crying. And then I took my phone, and like it's funny because it wasn't even related to anything. Like it wasn't related to me. Sorry, I'm getting a message. Okay, so it wasn't related to anything in regards to me coming out and stuff like that. But I feel like it was part of the things that were like suffocating me. So yeah, I took my phone and I went into WhatsApp, and I remember I texted my sister. I was like, you know what, I'm tired of keeping this in. I feel like we're sisters and I love you so much and I know that you love me, but like there's something that I really need to tell you and it might change everything. I don't know how you're gonna look at me. Like I was just typing away, you know, paragraph. And I was like, there's something that I really need to tell you. And then I was like, I don't know what this feeling is, and I know you might see it as wrong, but it's been going on for like years now and I can't like hide it anymore. It's too much for me and I need your help, but also I think I'm gay. And I immediately pressed send. I didn't want to look at the message because I knew if I proofread the message and I looked at it, I was going to delete the whole thing. I just pressed send. I switched off my phone. I went to take a shower and I was just crying in the shower. Guys, I was gushing. Hardcore. So yeah, that's what happened. And like obviously I didn't switch on my phone that entire day. And I think it was around like afternoon, like early evening, probably around like 6, and I didn't switch on my phone that whole time, because I was like, I was thinking a lot of things. I was like, what if my sister tells my mom? What if she reacts in a way that, you know, obviously negative stuff. I was thinking all the possible negative stuff that could happen. I was like, yo, what if she reacts in this way? What if she tells my mom? Am I ready for my family to know? And like, also at the same time, I'm like, I still haven't figured out like what's happening to me, you know. And like, you hear, man, the things that family says growing up. So already in my mind, I had it in my mind that, you know, being gay and being a certain way is not good. So already now it's just ready for my family to just be like, you know what, pack your stuff and leave. But at the same time, like, I don't know what I was thinking, but like, I was just going through a lot. Mainly I was scared for like my mom to find out. And then later that night, I went into bed and I switched on my phone and I saw like WhatsApp messages coming in, and I was looking to see if my sister had answered, and guess what, she did. And I was like, I'm not gonna read this message now, and if I open it, she's gonna see that I saw it. Like, drama and J, going through like my emotional battle. But eventually I opened it and she was so sweet. She was like, I don't know what to say, but you know, nothing's gonna change. I really love you. You know, sweet stuff, man. And yeah, basically that's what happened. And soon after that, I got into a relationship. She met my partner, and yeah, from there, nothing. But like, yeah. And then fast forward to, I think, my third year. I think it was a year later, after my sister, a year and a half later, I think I came out to my mom. That time, guess what? Another what? Mental spiral. Because what? Drama is for you. Drama is for you. You know what? Let me blend this. Let me blend this concealer. I'll be back. Am I the only one that gets like a runny nose and teary eyes when they do their makeup? But yeah, so I went in with this LA Girl Pro concealer on top of that, because I felt like the coverage on this one is very light. And then I went over it with Yardley Loose Translucent powder. And yeah, this is where we are now. I know I look like a ghost. We're gonna fix it. Relax. Okay, so let's get back into the story. So fast forward to a year and a half later. I'm hoping, if I get the timelines wrong, guys, just tell me. You heard the story, most it doesn't matter. So fast forward to a year and a half later. So now I'm going in with the smudge bronzing why can I not speak? I'm going in with this smudge bronzing powder. A lot of these products are new, like I just opened them now, like this smudge thingy and this one. So I don't know how they are. I'm just hoping for the best. If anything goes wrong, I don't have to look at my face. People outside are going to look at my face, so I don't care. But anyway, fast forward to me coming out to my mom, like I think it was a year later. So I went home for recess, and yeah, I think, what's happening? You know what, let me use what I know. I'm going in with this mattifying compact powder by Essence. It's, I don't know, it's not my skin shade, like it's, I feel like it's a bit too dark for me, but you know what, we'll finish. So I went home for recess. Okay, I think it was end of first semester, either it was, yeah, I think it was end of semester, and I went home for recess. And then yeah, at the time I was well into my relationship, like going into probably like 2 years into my relationship. I you know what, I forgot, but yeah, like, yeah, but I was like knee deep drowning in a relationship. And like I was happy, man, and like this was my first, I could say, openly, obviously by openly I mean like the people around me, people who know me in Joburg, my friends, like they knew I was dating this person. And I think I was also open about it in social media, but I would always block my mom when I post like things with her. But eventually she met the person, she met the girl, and then but she thought she was my friend. We've all been there, don't judge me. But yeah, at the time she's heard me talk about her, like her name, and I was like, I have this friend, da 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 da. But and I think at the time she'd met her, but also still as a friend. Yeah, she knew very well of her because I was always talking about her, how much fun we had together. You know, deep down I feel like she just knew that this is too good of a friendship. And like, guys, now I have this problem of like being very, like, I can be a loner sometimes. So whenever I meet someone and we click and we connect, it's very rare that like it's a constant thing, because I tend to like pull back. You see, it's doing something, ne? Am I the only one that sees it? But it's fine, it's my face. So yeah, I think she's heard me talk about this girl as a friend, because like I would always, when she calls, I would be like, yeah, I'm with this person, yeah, I'm right. So yeah, so it was, yeah, catch up. So yeah, I was back for recess, and obviously at the time I was going through, I was going through. So I remember this time my mom, I remember the day very vividly. Like it was raining, like the weather was so gloomy. And now like weather affects me. If it's so gloomy, I will not function. My emotions are just out of control. Not all the time, but most of the time. Like if it's gloomy, I will not function. It's like depression activate. So it was very gloomy and rainy, and I was just going through a lot. So obviously I'm home for recess, the family wants to spend time with me, and my mom noticed that I'm in my room a lot. So one day she comes into my room and she's like, Nana, I'm going out, I just wanted to say bye, do you need anything? And like I took time to answer her because I think I was crying. One thing about being a Pisces, you'll cry. So I think I was crying, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then like as she was about to close my bedroom door, she came in. She was like, no, you're not fine, what's wrong? And then she came in and closed the door and sat on my bed. She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm laughing, but it's not fun. So I was like, no, I'm fine, it's nothing. She's like, I'm not gonna leave until, like, I can't leave you like this. I think she was going to a meeting or something. She's like, I can't leave you like this. Like, you have to tell me what's going on. And then like it took me time to open up, because I was like, I also at the time I wasn't, even though I was like, this is the person that like I felt at the time that this is my forever, and I felt like so unfair that I couldn't share my relationship with people that loved me. Like I felt like that, but at the same time I was like, am I even like ready to come out? But at the same time I'm just like, I need my family to know that this person makes me happy, this is the person I love, like just going back and forth with that. So I wasn't really ready, but I was ready. But I guess I feel like he'll never be ready. But yeah, anyway, so I was, in my mind I was just like, am I even ready to have this conversation? Because I wasn't planning on it. Sometimes when you come out, you're just like, okay, this is what I'm gonna tell him, this is I didn't have that. So I was not really mentally in the space to just deal with whatever reaction that she's gonna have. So yeah, she was like, I can't leave until you tell me what's going on. And one thing about me, if you want me to talk, you have to press me. And at the same time, pressing me annoys me. But like if you press the right buttons, eventually I will talk. Like if someone is impatient with me, it's hard for me to talk about how I feel honestly. Like I'm very good at telling you just enough for you to think that you know, but you actually don't know. So if you press the right buttons, eventually I will talk, because at the end of the day, if I feel like that, I do need someone to talk to. So that day she was getting late for a meeting, but she was so patient with me, and I was like, you know what, just do it. And I was like, I'm really not having a good day because there's just a lot going on, and I think my mental health issues like just spiraled when I went to varsity as well. And it's something that I hadn't opened up to my family about as well, because also I had one consultation with a counselor at our campus. That's it. So it's not something that was something I could explain. So I was just like, no, I couldn't explain my emotions. But at the same time, I was like, there's this huge thing on my chest that, you know, I feel like you know, it's weighing down on me, and I think maybe it's part of the reason why I'm feeling like this. But, and you know, we just chopped it up, and I was just trying to explain how I feel, but obviously I can never articulate my feelings the way I want to. But eventually I was like, remember this person, this person, this person. She's like, oh yeah, your friend. I was like, she's more than just my friend. She's my girlfriend. And I love her so much, and we've been together, and I just word vomited, you know, just keep her everything. We've been together for so long, and I feel like it's so unfair for me to be happy, but I can't even share with you, and I don't know how long, like, I have to keep it a secret. It's weighing down on me because I feel like I feel like I'm living a double life. It's so unfair for me. I don't know why things are like this, and I'm just, you know. And I was just talking to her, and when like finally I wipe my tears and I look at her face, she has no facial expression, no facial expression. Do you understand how hard it is to talk to someone who doesn't show any expression? And my mom is like that. Like, you never really know what she's thinking. She has to like tell you what she's thinking. She has a very, very good poker face sometimes. So at the time, I'm just like, lady, I just told you this huge thing and I'm crying, and you're not saying anything. You know, I was getting like mad at her, but it was unfair. Like, I mean, at the time it was valid. I was in my feels, but now that I think about it, it was unfair. But like, I wasn't mad to a point where I lashed out. I was just like so mad because I was just like, say something, and she didn't say something. And eventually she was like, you know what, get some sleep, I'm getting late for my meeting, we'll talk when I come back. Ju azanka ka boraha so yo. She's like, we'll talk when I come back. You force me to talk, and then I talk, and then you say you talk to me later. Math is not mathing. Explain to me. That's what she said. And then she covered me with my blankets and kissed me on the forehead, and then she left. And then I just started crying again. Yeah. So yeah. So basically that's what happened. And guess what? She came back. We never had that conversation. And then I eventually went back to my flat. I went back to school, and like, I didn't know, like, things were so awkward from my side. I felt awkward because I'm just like, I don't know how she feels. I feel like now that she knows, can I like talk to her about my partner? Can I like, is it okay? It's not, because like, we didn't have that conversation. So I just felt like I'm walking on eggshells. So now it was even hard for me to just like tell her who I'm with, because I'm just like, okay, it was so easy for me to say, oh, I'm with this person, if she didn't know what was happening. Now she knows. So it was tough. So eventually, yeah, I went back home again. I forgot for what. And then one day I was like, me, you, my room, come. And then I'm just kidding, I didn't say it like that, but I was like, I need to talk to you. Like, at that time I felt like we needed to have a conversation for my sanity, because it was driving me crazy. So I was like, I need to talk to you when I went back home. And then I was like, I told you something that was very huge and you said nothing, and I don't know what that means, and it's driving me crazy, and I need to know what you think, and I need to know if I have your support, you know, like just talk to me, say something. And she was like chilled about it. She was like, you know what, you're my child, I love you, I gave birth to you, I carried you for 9 months, you know, the whole mother speech, nothing will ever change. And she was like, low-key, I knew, like, you know what she said? She was like, low-key, I knew there was something special about you. She's like, a mother always knows. It's just that sometimes, you know, you see certain things and you see them, but like they're not a reality then until you actually speak them. You know, now it becomes your reality. I don't know what to think, how to support you, what you want me to say, but like at the end of the day, it doesn't change that I love you. It's just going to take me time to, you know, figure out that this is our reality right now, and I know you've been dealing with it alone for a long time, and I'm so sorry for that. And but basically she was just like, we had a whole conversation about it, and yeah, so eventually that's how I came out to my mother. So the last person that I came out to was my younger brother. Let me do some makeup nyana. I'll be back now so that you don't see me like this. I look very scary. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I'm sure I look so much better. So I went ahead and I did wing liner and a little bit of mascara. So now I'm going to take this Yardley loose powder in cappuccino and just blend everything out, and also wipe off the excess powder. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, because this is not a tutorial, but anyway, back to the story. I'm gonna start here. So the last person that I came out to was my younger brother. I'm also gonna do a little bit on my eyebrows just to set them. Yeah, my younger brother. It was so simple and so quick, and I was drunk, so we were at Jive. We went out with my older brother and his wife. They took us out. We went out. So as we were dancing and drinking and just talking, I was just like, I was low-key go-ishing. You know, when you're drunk, you just go-ish even though you're not. But like, yeah. So as we were dancing and stuff like that, I'm just like, you know I'm gay, right? He looks at me, he laughs, he's like, yeah, I knew a long time ago. I'm like, do you knew? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, how did you know? He's like, remember there was a time I lost my phone and I asked you to borrow me the phone that you were no longer using? I saw a couple of things there and I was like, And then I also showed mom. When was this? I think I was a matric. Sorry about that. She's like, I also asked mom about it. So my mom knew since when I was a matric. She was just waiting for me to tell me. It all makes sense now. Everything is just now coming together. But I was so shocked. I was like, you knew? He was like, yeah, I always knew. I've always wanted to ask you, but I just thought get privacy how, and like I feel like you would tell me if you want to. So I just let it. So thank you for telling me, but I always knew. So yeah, and that's the last person that I came out to. Everyone else just saw with my posts and social media. So if you see, you see. If you don't, you don't. It's not my problem. And I feel like those were the only people that I felt I needed to tell. Everyone else doesn't matter, because those 3 people, 4 including my friend, 4 including my friend, were the closest people in my life, or are the closest people in my life. And I felt like they're the ones that, you know, they had to know. They had to know, because everything that happens in my life, they have to know, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was the last person I told. Everyone else just saw. I was open with my relationship, and I was just like open with being me, even though I could say my coming out was never specific to my sexuality, because I felt like at the time I hadn't figured it out. Even though I knew what I liked, I never really like specified what my sexuality is, whether I'm queer or I'm lesbian or I'm bi, and I don't feel the need to. And I feel like that's my business, but I felt like I needed to tell them that, you know what, this is who I'm dating, this is who I love, I'm interested in women, I'm dating women, and that's all I felt like coming out needs to be. It doesn't matter what you are or what you identify as, that's none of anybody's business. And like personally for me, I feel like if I knew what I know now back then, I wouldn't have come out, because also I wouldn't have pressured myself to. But I feel like that's a video that I'm gonna make, so if you stick around, you'll hear more of these kind of conversations. So yeah, those are the people that I came out to. My coming out story is just like all over the place, but I really hope that, you know, you got a little bit of laugh and a little bit of entertainment. Let me go finish up. I just need to put on highlighter and a lip, and I'll be back to close up the video. Okay, so I'm back. I'm done with my makeup. I feel like this lighting is not doing my makeup any justice. It looks very cute. I look really cute. Anyway, yeah, that is my story time on how I came out. Very multiple occasions, a lot of stories in one, and I feel like, especially the fact that I'm film presenting, I'll always come out in my life. Everyone new that I meet, I'm like, oh, by the way, pretty. So that's gonna be my life, and that has been my life, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click a huge thumbs up and let me know in the comment section what was your favorite coming out section of my story. And also, you can share your coming out stories in the comment section if you want to, if you're open to it. I would love to read your stories. And also let me know of questions that you have, then I could maybe make a video of like advice, maybe, I don't know, or like just my opinion on some questions that you may have in regards to like coming out or needing like advice or whatever you want. Or you can comment down below on what you'd like to see on this channel. This is a queer friendly channel, so if you're queer, you have found your family, do subscribe. I love you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm gonna say it again, subscribe. Danko. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next video. I love you so much. Bye.